Welcome to another episode of Anger Management Control. I am your host, Dr. Della M. Tingamy. I am a certified anger management specialist. And today we're going to talk about this subject it's very, very important because this is like a bridge that carries you from one side to the other. And today we're going to talk about the importance of knowing the difference, knowing how to distinguish anxiety from depression, and anxiety, depression, and anger all tied together. They overlap. I get anxious. I don't say nothing. I hold it in. Then I get depressed and I hold it in. And then comes along the cat and the cat get kicked because I'm angry or I take it out on somebody in the wrong way. It has nothing really to do with my reactions to you necessarily. It has to do with my inability to control my cognitive behavior. And you can see things just begin to go wrong in your life. And as you travel along in life, everybody's not going to say, "Oh, that's just her." Somebody's going to retaliate. And so it's very important that you understand that you have now crossed anxiety to depression, and now you're angry. You're very, very angry. Does anxiety cause problem? Absolutely. We talked about it last week and how it can upset you physically to be angry. Often, anxiety is unacknowledged, unexpressed. It can turn into frustration. Oh, I'm so, whew, I'm frustrated now, and that can lead to anger. I've on these series that I've been doing, I've been checking my own self, putting my own self in check about how I handle my anger and what I let annoy me. Because as I said before, you are the boss of your anger. It just depends on the individual and how they express their anger. But the anxiety is there, the depression is there, but the underlying cause of a lot of it are the anxiety and the depression, which leads to the anger part. And it could be something that happened in their life long before you came along. See, that's what people fail to remember or to think about. This that happened to me years ago, being called the FBI, fat, black, and ignorant, was way before I met any of you here on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or anywhere. Before I had children, before I married. These things happen. So if somebody is derogatory towards me now, my first impulse is to get on the defense. I'm going to get on the defense because no matter how I try to bury it or hide it, I get on defense, and then I have to look at it. They don't know you. They don't know your life. So what is happening to you or allowing it to happen? Anxiety is tightly linked to worry and fear. And we're living in a unprecedented time right now. We're living in a time where we're living in with COVID-19. We are having to shelter in. We're having to go to the grocery store at a certain time. We really can't see our family and friends like we desire. We are, we're depressed and we're anxious. And every day there's a trigger. There's a trigger. The mailman can, I go out to my box. Mail don't run in Douglasville for 3 days a week. I go out there and I bet you 2 times out of 3, the mailman has pushed my paper in and torn the first page. There's only 5 pages. I mean, can't you just roll it up and stick it in? But that's a trigger because I paid for that. But now I could let that paper and that mail person, upset me, or I could work this out. Let me tell you how I did it. I volunteer with a church pantry, and the church pantry will give us boxes when we finish. So When I came home Saturday, the mail lady was running. I said, "Can I give you a box of fresh fruit and vegetables?" And she thought I meant one or two pieces. And she said, "Oh, sure." I said, "Can I bless you with a gallon of milk and some bread?" And she said, "Yes, ma'am." My paper has been in my box, untorn, ever since. Now, you say that's a little bit extreme, but I didn't buy the groceries. They were donated by the farmers. But it resolved my issue of getting my paper torn and my mail just shoved in the box until it's full. If it gets too full, they'll leave me a note and say, "Unload your mailbox." Stick it on the side of the unload your mailbox. So that could have led to a terrible altercation. I'm going to call a postmaster. I'm going to call this. I'm going to call it. Took care of it right away. Individuals with an anxiety disorder will often get anger quicker. Just the little thing, you've met people, they say, "You don't want to make them mad, honey, because they are something else when they get mad." But the link between the anger and the anxiety is often missed and overlooked. There is a link, there is a correlation, there is a reason why they are as they are. The anger is often tied to frustration, and the inability to deal with a stressful environment causes us to get angry. Often, when anxiety is left unacknowledged, unexpressed, unsaid, it can turn to frustration. And we know when we get frustrated, the next thing on our plate is, "I'm mad, y'all. I am mad." We don't want that to happen. I gave you some tips on my webpage. You can go to www.angermanagementcoaches.com and look at some of the techniques I have there to help you deal with your anger. When your anger turns into, destruction, that's not a good thing. That's what I deal with is cognitive behavior therapy. When you're frustrated, it can cause you to act the wrong way or say the wrong thing. Have you ever, came off the tip of your tongue, and when you got it out, you said, "Ooh, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Or I shouldn't have written that down." It just doesn't go well. But again, anger is the underlying cause of fear sometimes, and the underlying cause of frustration in everybody's life. All anger is not bad anger. Some anger is good anger. When individuals are scared or worried about something, they often choose anger. They can act out. They can act out. It's a way for them to feel as though they're empowered, they're in control of their anxiety. There are cultures around the world who are not allowed to express their anxiety. It shows a sign of weakness or a sign of less of who they are. Road rage is an example of this. Traffic and crowds often triggers of anxiety, which can result in become angry with people on the road, pulling out guns, pointing a finger like you're gonna shoot somebody. Road rage. Maybe they're going fast, or you're going fast and you're running late for work. Whose fault is you running late for work? Everybody except a newbie would know how long it takes them to get from my town to Atlanta. On a good day, traffic flowing smoothly, doing the speed limit, 20 minutes. And you got to park and get to your job. Why would you leave 20 minutes to time for you to go to work, and then you want everybody in the world to get off? Knowing 18-wheelers come out of Alabama, Mississippi, Arkansas, and Tennessee, and they use that very I-20 to get to Atlanta. Now, why would you set yourself up for this one yourself? As a result of your anger, you lash out at people. You find issues wrong with their lives. You criticize them for doing what they do. It can ruin relationships and have adverse effects on everybody around you. One day I'm going to show y'all Douglas. Douglas is a Shih Tzu. Douglas is 2 years old. He turned 2 in August. But Douglas knows by the tone of my voice that I'm upset about something. Douglas knows we have to spell words around Douglas because Douglas, he know what it means when I say it. So if we don't intend for him to understand, we have to spell it now. The day he started to understand spelling words, I'm locking my bedroom door. Giving into anger can ruin your relationship, have bad effects on every aspect of an individual life. If it can lead to lashing out and fighting and kicking and biting and cursing and getting the police called in on you. It can lead to so many things because you have unexpressed anxiety is taking you to depression, and now the only weapon you got to make yourself feel in control is your anger. Not all anger is linked to anxiety, but often if individuals take a step back and pull the cover off, start peeling that onion layer by layer, they'll find the trigger was anger. They will find that the trigger is anger. They discover they are showing signs of fear and panic. If they told me I had COVID, I couldn't do anything but shelter in, but people of my age are dying a lot quicker than the young, and the young are vectors to carry it. So I would panic. Who have I been around? Who was, I would be doing all that trying to figure out what's going on in my life. And then I get mad and I can't do nothing about it. So I kicked the dog. Not really, I ain't gonna kick Douglas. He a sweet dog. Individuals with anger usually have difficulty falling asleep. They have to step back, like I said, and peel that onion, uncover what is triggering that anger. They have to speak it out. And as a result, they may be sleep deprived. And I can't take Benadryl. And most people say, why you can't? Because it has a paradoxical effect on me. Instead of making me sleepy and calming me down, it makes me jittery. I stay woke for 3 days. I'm picking that stuff all over the bed. So that doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for me. And over time, a lack of sleep will trigger an individual to become more and more angry, more and more anxious, more and more depressed. It ain't nothing like losing sleep 2-3 nights in a row. And by night 4, if somebody so much as rubbed that and touched your shoulder and told you you're going to be all right, you light up and say, how you know? You would find something because you're so angry now because you haven't. But slept if you're hungry and you haven't slept in 3 or 4 nights. And if you have unexpressed anxiety or you sitting on depression and depression has caused to escalate to anger, this is how they cross over. This is how they cross over. Getting upset because a long line in the grocery store. What you gonna do about it? Tell me, what can you do? Walk out and leave your food? Guess what? You just hurt yourself because you still need the food. You can't, you can complain. You can complain. They might come open up another line, but most of the stores now have self-checkout. Charge you the same price, but you check yourself out. I never quite understood how that worked. Yelling at people, yelling at a barking dog. The dog don't speak English, Spanish, French, or nothing. You hollering out your back door telling the dog shut up, he answering you with a bark. You get upset about the long line, the barking dog. You are an individual who's been challenged, and now you're dealing with anger. You're dealing with anger. Individuals who have an anxiety disorder often ridge in their daily routines, since the fear of unknown is often a trigger of their anxiety. Call it we say sometimes, they got a type A personality. I get up in the morning, I make my bed before I leave it. I come in the kitchen and I wash my hands, put on the coffee pot, go let the dog outside, feed the goldfish, go back to my room, do my AM care, come back out. My coffee is ready. I can have my cup of coffee. The dog is about ready to come back in, and he comes in and eats his breakfast, and all is well. But if I oversleep, I get, oh, man, I done slept way past the time for the dog to get out. Dog can't talk. Dog ain't said nothing. Soon let the dog out, dog go. Coffee ain't going to perk till I turn it on no way. So, man, can't do AM care till I get up out of the bed to do AM care. Can't make my bed really till I get up out of it. So things that you can control, you are the boss of, and you can make it happen or not happen. You can make it happen or not happen. The signs that you need to seek a therapist to help you in handling this in a positive manner is like contacting me. I'm a certified anger management specialist. Seeking help for anxiety can be, for anxiety and depression can be a toxic combination. Each one is their own individual symptoms, problems, and that go along with seeking treatment for anxiety disorder can help an individual uncover the reasons why you're so mad. Is it because your stepfather beat you because you didn't learn your timetables when they wanted you to? Are you angry because your mom denied you of something when you were younger and you thought you were deserving of it? Be mindful about your anger outbursts, because everybody's not going to say, that's okay, doctor, that's the way it is. Somebody's going to retaliate. And it doesn't get good in the end for anybody. If you are a loved one or in search of treatment, please go to my webpage at www.angermanagementcoaches.com and go there and fill out the forms and request them. It's done virtually. I am under HIPAA guidelines. I cannot discuss it. I cannot reveal it unless you threaten to kill somebody or hurt somebody. And I use cognitive behavioral therapy as my means of helping you make the right choice. I don't make it for you. You make it yourself. Please, once again, just come, because when you have anxiety, you have depression. And when you have depression, you have anger. And that anger can be expressed in a negative way. And that's not what we want to happen. That's not what we want to happen. We want a positive outcome. You know, I don't necessarily go with the theory about the universe, but it is said, well, what you put out in the universe is what you get back. I do know what I speak out of my mouth, I can put it in the atmosphere and it will be so. For those who don't believe it, then, you know, it's okay. But if I say I'm going to have a headache, I'm going to get a headache. If I say I'm going, you know, it's something negative, just mostly negative. We don't never think about I'm going to get $1 million and speak that into the atmosphere and let that be so. Or I'm going to be financially stable. Not $1 million, because if you spend $1, you're no longer a millionaire. You are 99. So we have got to learn to change our behavior. We have got to learn cognitive behavioral therapy. And I am the person that you can reach out to at dtingamy@gmail.com or Dr. Tingamy on Twitter, or Pastor 694 on Instagram and Tumblr. Or you can go to my webpage on Facebook. I have more than one, but the one with the red on and the glasses, I don't have on the same red, but the red and the glasses is the anger management page. I thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to look at this video. I hope it will be a help to someone. Please like and share it with somebody. You know, I want to tell this and then I'm going to go. There was a phone call that was made to this man's house one day. It's all in fun and jest. And he said it was a phone, and he told his wife to get it, and she said she was busy. He said, oh goodness, I got to go answer the phone. So he answered the phone. He said, hello? And when he said, oh, he said, oh, this is you, God? Oh, hey, God, how you doing? God said, I didn't see you at church on Sunday. No, God, you see, I had to stay at home and work on my old truck. And God said to him, said, but you went fishing. Yeah, God, I went fishing. Yeah, I probably should have went to church, but I went fishing, and I caught a bunch of fish. I did. Yeah. And I gave some to my neighbor. God said, you gave him? Well, I sold it to him, Lord, for just, they wouldn't have got it in the store that cheap. So God goes on and brings up these things that they had done, and they kept making excuses. So God said, I'll forgive you, and I'll see you in church next Sunday. So he hangs the phone. He said, all right, God, goodbye. And thank you so much for calling. And when he hung up, he said to his wife, next time you answer the phone, because that phone call was for you. That's what people do when they get angry. They put it off on somebody else. It's somebody else's fault but theirs. Again, I want to thank you for joining me here on this version of Anger Management and Anger Control.